Good morning. I'm David Rich, Plain Guy for President. You can reach me at plainguyforpresident@outlook.com, and I hope you'll watch all of my videos, post them on your Facebook, share them with your friends, pass them around at work. I'm just a plain guy with plain solutions to plain problems. You know, the only problems we've got that are complicated are only complicated because that's what our congressmen and president and elected public officials have made them into. I think it's time to take this country back over with plain common sense. You know, our laws are written in such a way that a common man can't understand them. In fact, some of our laws are written so complicated that lawyers can't understand them. I think that needs to be changed. You know, the United States Constitution is very easy to read. The Bill of Rights is very easy to read. Today I'm going to talk to you about the separation of church and state. You know, the First Amendment on our Bill of Rights says that the government is not involved in establishing or restricting your right to freedom of religion. Now, most of our founding forefathers were Christian. Most of our laws and our Bill of Rights were written with Christian-based principles. That's the way it was done. You know, but we Christians are taking a beating. You know, we're being told that we can't pray in school, that we can't put up a cross on public land, that we can't display the Ten Commandments in a courthouse. Folks, that's not right. The First Amendment said it shall establish no law. That means none. A restriction is just the same as a law. You know, all of our money said, "In God we trust." And in God I do trust. I fully accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. He's my way to redemption. He's my way to grace, and He's my way to heaven. I back it 100%. Now let me tell you kind of what that means. You know, most churches that file for tax-free status have to give up their freedom of speech when it comes to political issues. I think that's wrong. That's a rule that the government has put in place. The First Amendment says the government shall make no rule or law. Actually, it says law, but a rule is a law. I think that needs to be done away with. I think one of the best places in the world to talk about our political situation in this country is at church. And I think a church should have that right. Now, they also have the right not to speak about it. That's up to the congregation. That's their decision to make, not mine. So, folks, I think that the schools should have the right to pray before a football game. They should have a right to pray and study the Bible in our public schools. Now, that also means if there's a group that wants to get together and study the Quran in our public schools, I think they have that right too. You know, if you want to put up a Buddha on public land, because that is your faith, I think if you go through the proper channels, you should have that right to. I don't believe in Buddha, but I do honor your right to. So, folks, again, if you like plain solutions to a plain problem, I please ask you to back Plain Guy for President. You can reach me again at plainguyforpresident@outlook.com. God bless you. Have a great day.